was a mild April in 1884 in the Parker family's one-room cabin in the mountain valleys of central Utah, Circleville to be exact. It was a cabin that was bursting at the seams with children. One of them, Robert Leroy Parker, or Bob to his family, was fixing to leave and set out on his own. Oh, he had worked away from home before, and on one occasion, when Bob had ruined his only jeans, he went into the nearby town to buy a pair, but the store was closed. So, being a resourceful fellow, he broke in and got a pair of jeans and helped himself to a slice of pie, for which he left an IOU, promising to pay next time he was in town. The storekeeper found the note but decided to press charges. Oh, Bob was acquitted, but that might have been part of the reason he was leaving now that he had turned 18. He was old enough, after all, to be held responsible for his own actions. And there were some of those actions that, well, he knew how some people just like to talk, and he didn't want that coming back on his family. So he kissed his mother goodbye, hugged his adoring little brothers and sisters, and left, bound for Telluride in southern Colorado. You see, Parker was good with a rope, excellent on a horse, and a crack shot. Those were skills he had picked up working for Mike Cassidy. That hombre also taught Parker how to pick out stray unbranded cattle and branded them for Mike's herd. That new skill had put Bob in the company of two men a little older than himself who had young families, and the three of them had refined that talent by rebranding cattle that had already been branded. Tender-hearted Bob didn't want his friends' young families to suffer with their daddies in jail, so he took the blame for them. He took it all. That put Bob crosswise with the law for a second time, and he figured that going over the state line was the best way to keep his family from getting mixed up in his problems. Anyway, there was a mining boom going on in Telluride, and there was always work in southern Colorado's silver mines. Parker also knew about Telluride's horse races and the betting that went on in those races. He was certain that he could make some honest money by entering himself and his horse. That was just one good idea he had as he set off for a life on his own. But before he could set that plan in motion, he got hired to pack silver ore onto mules and bring it from the mines in the mountains around Telluride down to the mills. It was tough and tiring work. He had been boarding his horse down on a local rancher's property, but decided to move it closer to his work. The ranch owner, probably irked for losing a customer, accused Parker of stealing the animal, and Parker got arrested and tried for the crime. He was acquitted, but it just seemed like folks wanted to believe the worst once you'd been in trouble with the law. So Bob left Telluride to work on ranches in Wyoming and Montana. It was a hard and exhausting cowboy life. So after a couple of years, he drifted back to Telluride and met up with two fellas who were into that high-stakes horse racing. Matt Warner and Tom McCarty had fine horses and were strong riders, and the three of them became good friends and won a whole lot of money. And making money was what they wanted to do, so when they began having trouble finding anyone who would race against them, they discussed other options. All three of them had run-ins with the law in different places, so their options were limited. It was flat-out hard for drifters, especially drifters with no good references, to find honest work, at least not work that would bring in a lot of money. Well, around noon on June 24th of 1889, Bob Parker and Matt Warner walked into the San Miguel Valley Bank at 129 West Colorado Avenue in Telluride. As Matt held the teller at gunpoint, Bob, soon to be known as Butch Cassidy, filled a bag of cash somewhere between $21,000 and $24,000 of a mining payroll. That's a bit more than $500,000 in today's money. They rushed out of the bank Where the McCarty brothers held their horses, they leaped on and all rode out of town at a gallop, firing their revolvers in the air as a warning to any would-be pursuers as they left. They knew Telluride's Marshal, Jim Clark, would be out of town that day. But Sheriff J.A. Beatty quickly formed a posse and headed out in pursuit of the desperados. A few miles west of town, on the crest of Keystone Hill, fresh horses were waiting for Butch and his gang, and they had more fresh horses waiting for them all along their planned getaway route, leading down to a hideaway in remote southern Utah. The outlaws raced toward the Mancos Mountains. During their escape, they had been recognized by Harry Adsit, a man Cassidy and Warner had recently worked for. Harry identified the outlaws to Sheriff Beatty and told him which way they were headed.
We've been riding hot and heavy with a posse on our tail, but my mind rests easy, my mind rests easy. Like the wind we blew past Hanksville and through the gates of hell, where the earth conceals me, the earth conceals me at Robert's Roost, our refuge from the storm. Robert's Roost, where perfect plans are born. No one dares to follow, 'cause the canyon's full of death, and the posse knows it. The posse knows it, and there's not a man among them wants to dress as dead men dress, and their faces show it. They know we know it. Robert's Roost, no lawman's ever been. Robert's Roost, we dare you to come in. The only place on earth cradled in these canyons ours, where I can feel at ease. Nobody's gonna do me harm. Elsie Lay and Tom McCarty, Matt Warner, Sundance 2 will go down in history, down in history, as the wild bunch of spirits live on in Robert's Roost, carrying on the mystery, the myth and mystery of Robert's Roost. We never will be found. Robert's Roost, we dare you to come down.